Good morning, 7th graders. How are you? My name is Ms. Ayat Rabaiah. I'm your math teacher. Today I'll give you the 7th lesson in this semester. 1.3 more about prime numbers, the second part. Let's take this example. Write each number as a product of primes of 60 and 75. We took it in the last lesson. Let's work. Here I'll divide. This is 60, this is 75. Now, to draw a factor tree, two branches here. Now, 60, 6 times 10. You can choose 2 times 30, whatever. That's up to you. It's not a prime, it's not a prime. 6 equals 3 times 2. Prime, stop. This is 5, this is 2. 5 times 2, which is 10. Now here, 60 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 equals 2 times 2, 2 squared times 1, 3 times 1, 5. Now, what about 75? 75, it's 15 times 5. Yeah, 15 times 5, yes, 75. Now, here 15, 3 times 5 prime, it's a prime, it's a prime, it's a prime. Now, 75 equals 5 times 5 times 3, which is 5 squared times 3. This is 75. You can write 3 times 5 squared. That's up to you. Now, the new thing here, we will learn how we can use these expressions to find the LCM, lowest common multiple, and HCF, the highest common factor. First of all, let's start talking about how we can find the LCM between these two numbers with using these two expressions. This is 60. Note, it's very important note. For the LCM, how we can find the LCM, take the larger frequency of each prime factor and multiply them together. I will explain these two lines. Again, here we have 60 equals 2 squared times 3 times 5. Here 75 equals 3 times 5 squared. To find the LCM, okay, lowest common multiple, be careful. Take the larger frequency of each prime. Here we have 2 squared. Here there is no 2 squared, so just we have in the first expression 2 squared, so you need to take this one. Here we have 3 in the first one and 3 in the second one, but here its frequency is 1, yani 1 is 3. Here its frequency is 1. Just take one of them, this one or this one, that's up to you. Take 1, 3. Here we have 5 to the power of 1. Here, yani 1, 5. Here we have 5 squared, 2 5s. 5 squared. Take the larger frequency of each prime. The larger frequency, 5 squared is larger than 5. And the frequency here is 2. Here frequency is 1. So take this one. So the LCM becomes 2 squared times 3 times 5 squared. 2 squared, it means 2 times 2, which is 4, times this is a 3. 5 squared, yani 25. 5 squared, 5 times 5, 5 squared. 4 times 3 times 25 equals 300. So the LCM between 60 and 75, 300. Again, first of all, to find the LCM between two numbers, find the factor tree for the first number. the factor tree for the second number. Write each factor as like this expression. 60 equals 2 squared times 3 times 5 from the factor tree. 75 equals 3 times 5 squared from the factor tree. To find the LCM, here 2 squared, here there is no 2 أصلا, there is no 2. Take it, you have to take it. 3, but both of them have the same frequency. Take one of them. Here we have 5, here we have 5 squared. 2 is more than 1, يعني here we have 2 5s, here 1 5. Take the larger frequency of each prime factor. Take 5 squared. Don't take this one, take this one. Multiply them with each other. Then the answer is 300. This is how we can find the LCM between two numbers by using the factor tree. Now, also here, find the HCF of 60 and 75. This is the highest common factor. Again, I will write, you need to find the factor tree, the product of primes. Then 60 again equals 2 squared times 3 times 5. 75 equals 3 times 5 squared. After finding these two expressions, we need to find the HCF. Look how can I find it? By using this note. Take the smaller, very important. This is very important. Take the smaller frequency, smaller. To find the LCM, find the larger here. Find the smaller frequency of each prime factor that occurs in both. In both and the smaller. Very important. Numbers and multiply them all together. How? Look. Here 2 squared. Is there here any 2? No, don't take 2. Don't take 2. Here we have, remember, smaller both. 3 and 3. Yes, both of them have 3. Now take the smaller frequency. The frequency of 3, 1. The frequency of 3, 1 also. Take one of them. Take the first one or the second one, that's up to you. Now here times 5, and here we have 5 squared. So these two expressions have 5 in both sides. Take the smaller. The frequency is 2, the frequency is 1. Take the smaller. So here take the smaller frequency of each prime factor that occurs in both numbers. Now the HCF is 3 times 3 times 5, which is 15. Remember, to find the HCF, use the smaller and both, but in LCM, take the larger frequency of each prime factor and multiply them together. Here you have a homework, page 9, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, and question 5. I'll give you as a classwork, find question exercise, find the LCM of 45 and 75, number 1. Number 2, find the HCF of 45 and 75. Remember again how we can find it. Try to find the factor tree for 45. It's very easy. 9 times 5, 9 3 times 3. 75 also, we found it here. This is 75. Just find, okay, I give you a hint. اللي عندك 45 equals 3 squared times 5. Since 9 times 5 equals 45, 9, 3 times 3. Then follow the rules about how we can find the LCM and how we can find the HCF. Remember, in LCM, take the larger frequency of each prime, HCF, smaller frequency, and in both numbers, and multiply them. Don't forget your homework. Do it. It's very important. I'll check your homework, inshallah. Thank you for listening and have a good day.